Unlike my predecessor speakers, I need the prompting of notes. Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, fellow distinguished alumni, ladies and gentlemen. Ko hikurangi te maunga, wāpu tu awa, Ngāti Porou te iwi, ta aparana te tangata, ko rākairoa te whānau, Robert McLeod te ingoa, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. I'm very grateful to the University of Auckland for this Distinguished Alumni Award. And indeed, in shaping my remarks tonight, I took great counsel from the organisers to focus on a little bit about my background and the people in my life that have had significant influence on the development of my career. And that certainly does create an interesting reflection on what has shaped one's life and career through life. And I think, without doubt, at the top of the list is family. I think that would be the case for most of you, if not all of you. I was very fortunate from birth to have been born into an exceptional family, exceptional parents and siblings who gave me a great start in life. There's a randomness to that, and so I count myself extremely lucky. That family put huge emphasis on education. As a Maori family from Gisborne, I think it's unique to have had 4 of the 5 siblings acquire university degrees, bearing in mind that I'm the youngest of those siblings, so that gives you perhaps a glimpse of the time frame we are talking about. I think I was even more fortunate to have met and married my wife Joanne, who, by the way, is a member of the current government's tax working group. She actually bumped me for a place on the committee. And perhaps like the reference to my beach pastime, my wife is also a tax expert. But I think we can both testify to the fact that we do not talk much about tax in the home. We have also 3 amazing children, two of whom are here with me tonight, 3 boys. They've all played an amazing role in my life and continue to do so. When I think about the other category of enablers after family, I can't help but think of a group. I've had the amazing opportunity as a leader of accounting firms to talk to many graduates over many years about what matters for them in their professional development. And one of the key themes I have continued to make to them is that sponsorship in your life is crucial, that you need to cultivate sponsors, but you also need to recognise that through your life, which has been no exception with me, that individuals and also at the institutional level, sponsorship is crucial. That sponsorship can be seen, and it's obvious, on the sports field. It can be seen at the school, it can be seen in the job, and it can be seen in business. And it's a crucial ingredient to success in life around the world, I would argue. Now, I could single out many sponsors that had a significant influence in shaping my career. Past teachers, professors, colleagues. I think it's an amazing story to reflect on the panoply of so many people that have had a significant influence in taking that extra step to gratuitously point people like me in the right direction and fill in the gaps that there are invariably part of you when you're growing up and when you're pursuing a career. I'll give a memorable example, one that just came to mind, which was during my high school years. I used to work part-time as a high school kid for an electrician in Gisborne. And this was another person who gave me that kind of sponsorship, and he offered me an apprenticeship. I was very interested in it. I loved doing the work with him, and I found it very fulfilling. When I went home and suggested to my mother that I actually pursue this trade opportunity, she was not happy. My parents were so obsessed with university pathways that I received a rather hostile reaction, and I was put under a fair bit of pressure to change my view. And as a matter of obstinacy, which runs in my family, I decided that she had encouraged me to be more dogmatic in the pursuit of the trade option. As a result, she approached a form teacher and had him talk to me about my career options. And I remember how skillful that form teacher was. The first principle he shared with me is that it was my decision, and that was very important. Second principle he shared with me is that when you are young, it doesn't really matter what you can do because you can back up the truck. You can't do that as you get older, so there's less risk at this stage in your life. The third point, however, was make sure that you only have on your list of options the ones that really matter. If you can boil things down to 3 or 4 that really matter, then in his opinion it didn't really matter which one you chose. And I think there's been such wisdom in that. Ironically, what he did was he empowered my choice and my decision. And for the benefit of my mother, coincidentally, I changed my mind and I went down the university track. I still wonder whether there was some deal that went on there. But I've often reflected on that wisdom, and I believe that he was completely correct. And indeed, I think if he were here tonight, he wouldn't necessarily say that I made the right choice. His point to me was that you need to make sure that the choice set that you identify are those few things that matter, and after that, life will deliver random dividend, no matter which pathway you choose. And I think that is very true. My roots, as you know, are from Gisborne. I'm Ngāti Porou. Many people may not know, actually, that Ngāti Porou Rohe ends at the Gisborne Harbour. Had I been part of the iwi of the day, I think I would have definitely encouraged them to have in fact moved all the way south down to Muriwai, because the lands in the Gisborne city are part of Rongowhakaata, not part of Ngāti Porou. An example, if you like, of commercial orientation that I think one could bring in all walks of life and times of life. I was interviewed, having been awarded this honour, by Radio Ngāti Porou, who I was very pleased to hear is still based in Ruatoria, and the village of Ngāti Porou was such that the lady who interviewed me happened to be my cousin. She pointed out, because when I gave my background that my mother was a Ngāpō, she said, well, I'm actually a Ngāpō too. She recited the ancestress that she descended from, and I said, well, I also descend from that ancestress, so hi cuz. And that's the nature of Māoridom. I was also interviewed by Radio Wātea, and I welcome those opportunities, and also had the privilege of appearing in the Gisborne Herald yesterday. So these awards have that kind of reach and effect, and I've had many phone calls from Gisborne giving me congratulations. And what that does, from my point of view, is it puts emphasis on this award being valuable to other people. And in the Māori world, I'm particularly proud of the fact that if rangitahi of Ngāti Porou can look at people like me with my humble backgrounds achieving things in commerce in the New Zealand marketplace, then they can be inspired hopefully to do the same. That's the most important dividend, I think, for me that could come from an award like this, which I obviously treasure myself as well. So thank you very much. I am very pleased to be here tonight amongst so many friends and so many familiar people. I've lived a long time and worked in this city. I know very many of you, and it's great to see you all. And let me end by thanking the Auckland University as an institution that has the ability and the mana to confer these kinds of recognising rewards and awards, and in so doing, produce role models that demonstrate what can be achieved in our beautiful country. Thank you very much.